Yo, what up, nyakos? It's your buddy Philko here reporting live for your mama's house. Doing my thing as I usually do, bringing you guys a video about what the hell's going on in my mind. Alright. And today we're going to talk about what's going on in Europe, with the migrant situation, the refugees, asylum seekers, whatever you want to call them. We're going to talk about how they, or if they will eventually start mixing with the German women, or, just European women in general. But Germany seems to be in the center of this whole thing, so I'll speak about both, whatever. Now, me as a black guy, I've been to Germany, I've been to Austria, I've been to Poland, I've been to Cyprus, Ayanapa. Those are places like close to or in Europe that I've been to mostly. If I'm missing anything, I greatly apologize. No, I've been to Ukraine and Russia, but they're not really considered part of Europe. And that's really it. Those are all and Budapest, Hungary, of course. How can I forget that? Serbia. And yeah, I can say, women are fairly attractive in these areas. They're not as good looking as in Russia or Ukraine at all, in my opinion. But they're fairly attractive. If one advantage they have over in these countries like Germany and Budapest and Hungary is that they're a little thicker. So if you're into a little thicker, like women who are kind of thicker, you would definitely prefer it in Western Europe than Eastern Europe. Because Eastern Europe, the women are just gorgeous as hell in the face. And they're usually very flexible and athletic out here. And they're just extremely gorgeous. The type of faces that can make you just get in. You could get hard just looking at their face. Like, they're very, very, very pretty here. It's unbelievable. But this picture was taken in Germany. Now, these women aren't bad at all. But my experience in Germany, I wasn't like, holy crap, the women are so good looking when I was there. I was there for 6 months. I never really felt that. I mean, I've traveled around and in Austria too. I mean, of course, there were some good looking ones, but I wasn't really that impressed. I wasn't really that impressed at all. And same thing in Hungary. The only thing about in Hungary, for some reason, the girls had huge asses. But then again, they were kind of big too. So I'm not trying to say that all big women have big asses. Not at all. That's nowhere near true. But what I'm saying is they're kind of big compared to out in Russia. So they're likely to grow bigger body parts in general, maybe due to eating habits or just DNA in general. So they tend to be thicker over there in Budapest. I called it Booty Pest because I did see a lot of big asses when I was over there. But the asses weren't usually on the best looking women. So a lot of people are reporting on what's going on over there in Europe about how a lot of the refugees are committing a lot of the sexual crimes. There's a story out now about 2 girls who were molested at a swimming pool. Not a swimming pool, a water park out in Germany. An 18 and 14-year-old were molested, and the guys are being arrested, blah, blah, blah. And then I also saw some videos about how there's some vigilante groups walking around making sure women are safe and protected. So this is what I want to get to. There is going to be some mixing going on. And there's really nothing anyone can do to stop it because, like it or not, sure, not saying all German women or European women will be into the migrants, but let's just say 10% of them are. Let's say 10% they look at them as fair game compared to any other men. As fair game or more. 10%. 10%. Now, you got to understand that these refugees, most of them are Muslim. So they can marry a lot of different women, and Islam is one of those religions that, as if you're going to date a Muslim or marry a Muslim, you got to be a Muslim. You're going to become one, typically. And the children will typically come out Muslim. And especially because the men are the one who usually get married and all that stuff, blah, 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 to the women. Now, I don't know if Muslim women date outside of Islam very often. I don't think that's very common compared to how the men can marry and convert the women. So a lot of worry is Islam going to take over Europe? Well, it's possible. I'll tell you now, it's possible. People have been talking about this for years. This is nothing new. It's possible. It's very fucking possible. I would say in the next 15 years, Europe is going to look very different. But see, I don't care. And the people who aren't racist don't care either about the look of Europe. If it so happens that the Germans will adopt skin color, they're not going to give a fuck. Most people who aren't racist don't give a shit about how their people are going to look. Are they looking good? All right, great. You know what I mean? Even here, there's a girl with some skin color. You can see her in the top left. She looked good. I can't even see her whole face, but she looked damn good. Nice, long, real hair and shit. She looked good. I don't think anyone's really going to complain about that. You know what I mean? Anyone who's not racist is not really going to complain about that. But the behavior and the culture of the people is something I can understand complaining about. Like, we don't want our women having to cover their faces. All right, I fully agree with that. I understand. You want your women to have the freedom to show their face. I feel you on that. But if Islam does and Sharia law does take over Europe, that could change. But of course, we know most Muslims don't want Sharia law to take over Europe. They don't want it. They're just trying to have a better life. But the thing is, a lot of the refugees who are coming over to Europe aren't real, like, refugees. Not all of them are real refugees. A fair amount of them got money. I mean, just go look at any of these videos of these refugees. Look how healthy these guys are. Is anyone noticing that? Like, when I imagine a refugee, I think of hungry, poor, kind of skinny, not much stuff, no fucking cell phone. Just really go look at these videos. You got guys doing crazy shit. They got cell phone cameras, got on nice clothes. A lot of them aren't necessarily just looking for a regular life to live. They just want a better life than what they had. And what's crazy is a lot of these men are grown men. I just want to know, I'm not trying to be a dick, but why aren't they helping to fight back home? Why are they running away and not helping to fight back home? Maybe they can't for some reason, and I just don't know. Why aren't they fighting back home? That's what I want to understand. Now, as for the women and children, I'm sure the vast majority of the country won't mind taking in the women and children, but it's really the men they're complaining about, because these men are grown-ass men and they're healthy as fuck, and some of them are causing problems. You understand? It's causing a lot of tension in the country, not just between white and brown, but between white and white. You have your Pegida people, then you have your anti-Pegida people, and they're always fighting each other. Pro-immigrants versus anti-immigrants and shit like that. And they're always fighting each other over the same topic. Just go look at the videos of like any march of like Pegida or any sort of anti-migrant march, and look at the pro-migrants or vice versa. You know, they're always going at each other. And these are the white people fighting each other over this situation. It's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? And I just want you guys to know, not all these people are racist at all. A lot of them really have good points, but their points are being shut out because, like, soon as they say something, somebody will just say, oh, they're racist. And, like, that's the end of the conversation, you know? Which actually isn't fair, to be honest. It's not fair at all to the citizens or to the women or to anybody. It's not fair because sometimes they actually say shit that makes sense. And nobody wants to hear them because they're just going to say, oh, you're racist, you're a Nazi and all this stuff. Well, those kind of things don't do anything to me. It doesn't mean shit to me. Like, I got to see pure evidence. Like, I will listen to what you say. I don't care who you are. You could be a Klan member. I'm going to listen to what you say. Some things you say I might agree with. You might say, blacks are committing too much crime. I'm like, that's true. But then you say something like, niggers need to die. Then I don't agree with you. But just because you're a Klan member doesn't mean I'm going to disagree with everything you say. You know what I mean? It depends on what you say. It's situation by situation. That's how I see things. You know what I mean? So I guess that's all I really have to say about this. I don't have much more to say. I'm over here playing Street Fighter in the background, getting my ass kicked and shit. Getting pissed off at this fucking game. Really pissed me off. So let me know what you guys think about what's going on in Europe. It's very interesting. You should go check out some videos and shit. And I'm out. Yeah. Later.